Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Last semester, during the fall semester, we weren't able to do lecture series because of construction in Education City and difficulties in parking and traffic patterns. Qatar Foundation gave us the green light to do lecture series this semester, and I'm delighted that we have the first in this series today. The speaker today, His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Mohammed bin Saud Al Thani, the chairman of Ooredoo. Sheikh Abdullah is the chairman of the board of directors for Ooredoo. In his capacity as chairman, His Excellency enjoys state minister status. He brings a wide range of business skills, experience, knowledge to Ooredoo. He has enhanced Ooredoo's corporate governance to ensure the company is directed and controlled in line with international practices, and in the process reinforced both corporate accountability and the sustained creation of shareholder wealth. Sheikh Abdullah has also been instrumental in the restructuring and regional expansion of Ooredoo. After Ooredoo's key acquisition of the Kuwait-based Wataniya Group, at the time representing the largest telecom acquisition in the Arab world, he became chairman of Wataniya. He also serves as president commissioner of Indosat in Indonesia, in which Ooredoo has a controlling stake. When we were meeting earlier, Sheikh Abdullah told me that in Indonesia they have about 54 million customers. So a huge investment there. In 2012, Sheikh Abdullah was appointed as commissioner to the United Nations Broadband Commission for Digital Development, and in 2013 he was named Best Telecom Leader by the South Asia, Middle East, North Africa Region Telecommunication Control. Sheikh Abdullah previously held several high-profile positions in Qatar, including Chief of the Royal Court, which is the Amir-i Diwan, from 2000 to 2005. He also served as a member of the Qatari Planning Council from 2001 to 2004. He is a certified pilot instructor by way of the British Royal Air Force. Sheikh Abdullah has an extensive background in both the military and in aviation. A flight school graduate from the British Army Air Corps, he completed his studies at the Senior Army War College in Carlisle Barracks in the United States of America. His Excellency will present the findings of New Horizons, Young Arab and Connected, which is a major new research report which incorporates the responses of over 10,000 young adults across 17 countries in the Middle East and North Africa. It will be the global premiere of the study, the first time the results have been shared with a public audience. This research looks at the pivotal role that the evolution of digital technology and connectivity has in the lives of youth in this region. The results highlight young people's attitudes to a dynamic mix of social, economic, and education-related issues, particularly in relating to finding a job and starting a business, as well as some comparative analysis of attitudes about women online. Following the presentation, there will be a Q&A session with His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah. The first set of 4 questions will be asked by our own Professor Salman Imam Mansar, seated there, and then we will continue with questions from the audience. It's a pleasure to introduce Sheikh Abdullah.
Thank you, Dean Elka. I'm pleased to be here at Carnegie Mellon. When I got the first invitation to be part of the Dean's lecture, I was in the United States and in a campus visit in one of the colleges. It was late December, early January. It was so cold, the worst winter I've ever been through. And I believe I have lived in Carlisle, Pennsylvania for almost a year and a half during my study. I've been through a very rough winter, but not as much as I have seen. So the first moment it went into my mind that it's going to be in Pittsburgh, it's going to be in the middle of the winter, and it's unbelievable. It turns to be the other Carnegie Mellon. So I'm glad to be here in Doha with you today. And if you think about it, in Pittsburgh today, the temperature lowest is minus 16 degrees centigrade. So glad to be in Doha. Carnegie Mellon has a reputation of a global leadership and innovation. It's a privilege to unveil for the first time Ooredoo, a new horizon, a major new research, over 10,500 young male and females across the 17 countries in the MENA region. And when I say the MENA region, I mean the Middle East and North Africa. I'm also pleased to have been joined by Asma, Hassan, and Maha. Asma and Hassan joined me for the Youth Summit in Costa Rica last September. As both of them continued to finish the summit, I enjoyed the last 2 weeks playing golf in beautiful Costa Rica. A week later, Maha joined me in the Silicon Valley in California, where we visited so many companies, including Google's, Facebook, Twitter, Cisco, and many others. If I may also add, Hassan and Maha, they are alumni of Carnegie Mellon, and I'm sure they are honored. I'm sure they are honored to be here in front of you today. I also, bringing them with me to share with me the lecture, I'm really proud of them representing the young Qataris at Ooredoo who aim for remarkable, never settle for routine, and strive for a global career exposure. Now, just before I proceed, I would like to give you an overlook of our journey since 2007. We were one company in one country with only 300,000 customers and revenue of 1.5 billion Qatari riyal. So, 7 years later, we are present in 16 countries. We have over 93 million customers. Our revenue grew more than 2,000%, almost $10 billion, equivalent to more than 36 billion Qatari riyal. We became the fastest telecom company in the world for 6 consecutive years. Now, let me talk about something happened just lately. Last week, I came from Myanmar. Some of you may have heard that we won one of the 2 licenses in Myanmar. We went into a very fierce competition against 93 companies, 3 of them in the top 10 in the world. Myanmar is a huge country, spanning 2,000 kilometers long, 900 kilometers wide. It has a population of 65 million people. To put it into context, it is 60 times the size of the state of Connecticut. 85% of that population lives outside the electricity grid. In fact, at the time of the signing ceremony, when I was accepting the license, the went light off inside the ICT ministry. So you can imagine the challenge. And guess what? We are going straight with the 3G. I want to leapfrog this country. Myanmar will be able to enjoy the benefits of modern communications immediately, and they are very and extremely happy of that. We require the best team on board to deliver. I have got the best team in Myanmar today. We are committed to cover 80% of the population in 3 years. We plan to go live on air in the next 6 months. Actually, I left the country with 2 things. First, the countdown clock on 185 days, 16 hours, 57 minutes, and 10 seconds. Here is it today. I also left Myanmar after making the first successful call on our network. So I am happy and I am confident that in 6 months' time, we will go in air. Now, we instated to the Clinton Global Initiative just last September in New York that we will hire 30,000 women who live in remote areas to sell our products. We want to help the community wherever we have a presence. We have done it before. We have done it in Indonesia and Iraq, and we will do it here. If you ask me, can you do all that? My answer is simply, yes, we can. We have done it before, and I'm sure my team is going to do it again. Now, let us go back on track and talk about our subject of today. Out of the 10,500 young adults who participated, nearly 3,500 men and women aged between 18 to 30 across the MENA region completed an online survey, which looks into their lives at the pivotal point and stage of evolution of ICT and connectivity in their country. The research is broken into 2 phases. In phase 1, 7 online focused group discussions were conducted here in Qatar, in Kuwait, Oman, Algeria, Tunisia, Iraq, and Palestine. In phase 2, we conducted an online survey with a sample reflected of young adults across the MENA region. The results highlight their attitude to a dynamic mix of social, economic, and educational-related issues, particularly in relation to finding a job and starting a new business, as well as analysis attitude of women online. We have prepared a short video that highlights some of the key findings of the research.
"45% of the youth in Middle East and North Africa are not doing the work they want to do."
51% of youths claim knowing how to fully utilize the technology for business is both important and difficult. Seven out of 10 consider the speed of the internet as the primary consideration when selecting a provider.
91% across Middle East and North Africa believe technology is the basis of modern, forward-thinking and functionality. So what do you think?
Not happening.
%18 of time online is spent communicating with others.
Okay.
Not only him, 40% of youth in GCC access the internet at work, compared to 23% in Levant and 24% in North Africa. "91% of youth across Middle East and North Africa believe the internet and technology encourage them to be more entrepreneurial."
I believe in the future.
8 in 10 in Middle East and North Africa are optimistic about their future in the coming 12 months. Woo!
Please welcome Maha, who will talk about the views that the Arab youth have about their future.
Thank you, Sheikh Abdullah, for your kind introduction. It's always nice to be back to Carnegie Mellon. I used to sit on that side of the students, and now I'm here. I'm honored to present with Sheikh Abdullah. The Middle East and North Africa include some of the world's wealthiest countries per capita, and others facing significant political changes and social imbalance. Our research explores the strong sense of optimism among youth across the region to improve their lives. The overall responses from every country were very positive, with over 80% being either very optimistic or slightly optimistic about how the next year would affect their lives and what can be achieved. Will youth in countries facing low economic activity and limited job opportunities maintain their optimism beyond the short term? Even for those working, the situation shows considerable room for improvement throughout the whole region. 41% claiming that they're not working to their full capacity, while another 45% claiming that they're not doing the work they would like to do. This dissatisfaction is most obvious in Oman, with 57% of youth agreeing that they are not working to their full capacity or doing the work they would like to do. These results identify an opportunity which technology can play a positive role for both employees and employers. How important is the role of infrastructure for the use of technology? Clear differences exist across the region, with some countries enjoying infrastructural advantages while others struggle with the more basic requirements of a dependable supply of electricity. There is a clear positive correlation between the rating of internet connection and satisfaction level, which implies that to increase satisfaction, telecom operators need to increase connection speeds and performance. This correlation strengthens the importance of mobile technology as means of being able to provide constant and reliable connections. Additionally, it highlights the necessity of providing speed that satisfies the demand of youth while removing the reliance on electricity. Telecom operators are addressing this through the introduction of 4G. 70% of our respondents focus primarily on internet speed when selecting a telecom operator. This is followed by 61% focusing on the value for money and 56% focusing on geographic coverage. So, speed, value, and coverage are forming the three building blocks for telecom operators to focus on. Internet speed also affects the amount of time MENA youth spend online. 60% of youth claim that fast internet connection would lead to spending more time online. I will now turn it over to my colleague Hassan Mouna.
Thank you, Maha. It's also an honor for me to be in this research and also to come back to this university and be in front of the professors that taught me and made me worthy of my degree. As you know, young people are early adopters of technology, and this reason is no exception. The emergence is driving shifts in usage and viewing patterns. Our research highlights key influences, such as smartphone usage now exceeds non-internet connected mobile phones among the youth in the MENA region. In particular, in the GCC, 70% of the youth use these devices, against 47 in the 11 countries and 42 in North Africa. Less than half of the youth are accessing the internet at work. More specifically, 40% in the GCC, 24 in North Africa, and 23 in the 11 countries. Technology nowadays has a significant impact on digitally connected youth across the region. As a demonstration of this impact, 91% agree that technology is the basis of a modern, forward-thinking, and functioning society. And 89% agree that technology opens up communication channels to promote peace and understanding. In other words, technology is no longer, if it ever was, simply another form of entertainment. Although playing games and entertainment still account for more than a quarter of the use of technology, respondents still see it as a platform for broadening utility and empowerment for the youth. In a typical day, 18% of the time spent online is on communicating, followed by 16% on learning or training. In Algeria, for instance, 19% is spent on learning or training and 14% looking for jobs and opportunities. These percentages are the highest in the region. Technology is also providing high opportunities for young people to find and secure employment. With the challenges being presented, respondents expressed obstacles when using technology in businesses. More than 50% of the respondents claimed that knowing how to fully utilize the technology for business was both important and difficult. A large percentage of the respondents stated that technology gives them the chance to be more entrepreneurial and thus take more risks to start up their own business. 83% have expressed the desire to start their own business, and 9% already did so. I will now turn it over to my colleague Asma Al-Haram to give you more information.
Thank you, Hassan. Well, I didn't get the chance to study here at Carnegie Mellon, but actually it is a pleasure to be here at Carnegie Mellon, sharing this important research that affects us as youth. So, how do women use the internet and how does this compare with men? Our research highlights that technology can help drive social-economic conditions for women around the region. The results reveal a lower percentage of women accessing the internet compared with men. This difference is most notable in Iraq and Yemen, where 73% of online users are men. An explanation of this could be that more men connect via shared devices outside their homes. For example, 32% of men connect at internet cafes, and 29% of them connect at work, whereas 78% of women connect at home. For example, 32%, once women are connected, there is a very little difference on the significant impact technology has between men and women. The stereotype of women depending on men and their lives to provide the household income is now changing. Most respondents agree that women should be given equal business opportunities as men. This view is shared by both genders, with 87% of women and 72% of men agreeing with the statement. ICT also can be a catalyst for empowering women to enter the business world on their terms. 90% of women claim that the internet encourages them to be more interested in their life. I am also pleased to share Qatar's finding. 90% of youth believe that the internet encourages them to be more entrepreneurial. Among the findings, we also concluded that Qatari youth were asked about what is particularly important to them when selecting a telecom operator. A large majority agreed that speed, value, and coverage similar to the global findings. While 92% of Qatari youth consider telecom operators to be good, only 71% of MENA youth on average feel the same way. 71% of Qatari youth agree with social media restrictions, and 68% agree with restrictions on voice over IP services such as CAN. This is much more positive than their views on website restrictions, where only 44% agree that the restrictions are about to be right. With 83% of Qatari youth believing there are good options for small businesses and entrepreneurs, 47% of Qatari youth intend to start an online business and 13% have already done so. While 42% of Qatari youth buy online, an additional 31% aim to purchase online in the future. And now, it is my honor to welcome back to the stage our dear chairman, Sheikh Abdullah. Please welcome him to the stage.
They did the easy part. They want me to do the recommendation and the report. Anyway, I mentioned Costa Rica. When I was leaving Costa Rica, I got one of the newspapers and flipping through. I never heard what happened after I left the summit. And here I go, I see a picture of Asma with the president. And I said, what's going on, guys? They told me that she read the declaration of this youth summit. So thank you, congratulations. Now, as you have seen or noticed, these findings provide the inspiration for the future of the MENA region and Qatar specifically. At Ooredoo, they certainly help form the foundation for the road ahead. The MENA region will only remain competitive on a global scale if it continues to invest in the right system and in the right infrastructure. This is to reflect the demand of youth to overcome environmental and infrastructure obstacles. The research shows that providing the physical delivery of an accessible, affordable, and fast network that is available in every community will better enable business-minded youth to empower their own life. There is need to be a closer collaboration and understanding between both the public and the private sector, and between the countries within the MENA region themselves. This will help the youth embrace efficiencies and opportunities presented by the operators and by ICT companies. This will also facilitate more efficient and cooperative environment in areas such as regulation, legal framework, trade, transaction, and e-commerce. Much more needed to be done to promote and facilitate employment opportunities online. Employers both in the public and private sector should also look to the internet to promote future employment opportunities to attract the best caliber candidate, either on ad hoc or part-time or full-time basis, with a flexible job market connected online. As an educational tool, the internet has a huge potential to enhance the MENA's creative talent. However, online systems specific to this region need to be in place to inspire and encourage its future entrepreneurs. Women remain an untapped economic potential. The internet offers them the flexibility of working remotely and on their own terms. Now, before I conclude today's presentation, I would like to invite you all to check our website Ooredoo, newhorizon.com to find out more about the research. Furthermore, I remind you that tomorrow is our National Sport Day. I will be looking forward to seeing you at the Museum of Islamic Art. Please come and join me and challenge me in any sport event. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh Abdullah. I'd now like to invite His Excellency, as well as Maha, Asma, and Hassan, for a panel discussion before opening the floor to the audience. First, 4 questions will be coming from Professor Salma Imam Mansar in Information Systems here at Carnegie Mellon University. Salma.
Thank you. Is it working? Thank you, Dean Baybars. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the presentation. Thank you, Asma. Thank you, Maha, Hassan. My first question, if I may, Your Excellency, is for you and relates to access to information and communication technology. So, how crucial is access to information communication technology, specifically for the MENA region?
Thank you. First of all, I believe it is important not only for the MENA region and for the youth here, but to everybody. Finding tap onto the young generation who really would like to use the internet for their education, for their entertainment, and I believe in the future there will be no more for voice or text. It's going to be through the internet. And you can see, around you that kids, wherever you go, and young people, they are all on their devices, either if it's smartphones or tablets, and they spend most of the time using the internet and the broadband. Now, the Dean has mentioned that I'm a board member in the Broadband Commission. One of the issues we are trying to emphasize, and we play a big role in that the internet now is becoming as a human right issue, and everyone has to have access to internet. Now, I know that my people are working on a product that it will be, I think it's one of its unique in the world to tap into this part. But more than that, if you look at the statistics we've been seeing lately, there are more than the population of the earth, they have mobile. More than 7 billion devices. Those 7 million devices, if you look at it, only 50% of them, they have mobile phone. So the other 50% is not untapped, absolutely untapped, hasn't been reached. Out of those 30 or 50%, only 1.5 billion have access to internet. So the room is huge for the broadband in the future. There are areas where we haven't even reached the people to give them their basic right of internet and information and access to information. People in the developed world, they have access to all matters of information through libraries, through internet, also and innovation centers. But when you go to underserved community, which really the area we are not even mentioning or tapping into, they are in need of the broadband and of the internet. And that's what we are trying and putting an effort to reach to those people through the Broadband Commission. And let me tell you, I like to give success story. I do not like just to talk about reports coming from this far or another. In Indonesia, I'll tell you, this is a true story. We started providing internet to poor villages. They have nothing to know, or they never know anything about internet. they don't even know how to charge their mobile. They go to the site where the base station is, and they charge their mobile. What we have done with Sherry Blair Foundation, that we started to hire those young women and ask them to sell our products and create a better fortune for them in their lives and live a better life. Not only that, but also we went to the farmers and started to show them how can they get benefit out of this mobile. Not only, you know, in the old days, the farmer, what he does, he sells his product to the first comer. He doesn't know what is the price. Now, with a small device, he knows the price. He knows even in which country he should sell his product. So the devices and the internet and the broadband, I think it's the future. It should be a true human right for everyone to get it. And we, as a broadband commissioners, we are working on that. So, you know, I hope that answers some of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My next question is to your collaborators and researchers. And looking at either through the results of the research that was conducted, or maybe through your own opinion on what you think is going to happen, how do you think youth will connect to the internet in the future? How would they like to do that?
Thank you. As the report shows, there is a high demand for internet-connected devices, and the shift from desktops and laptops to smartphones and tablets is also happening. So in the future, the usage of using the tablets and smartphones will increase. And as we know, the portable devices' advantage is that they don't rely completely on electricity or good infrastructure. So in certain countries with limited, with poor electricity or infrastructures, having a portable devices is more beneficial in the future.
It's fine. Thank you very much. My next question, basically in our audience here, we have some of our students, some who will probably graduate in May very soon. And so as you can imagine, they're also busy now looking for jobs and applying everywhere. So this question relates to the access and how basically the possibilities for them to relate to the marketplace. How do you see that?
I think I can answer that with personal experience, and I think all the seniors here will back me up. And this is actually backed up by the research itself. That internet is now important for both employers and employment, and the people who are seeking employment. From now, as of now, you can be applying to many jobs in the comfort of your own home. It's becoming extremely easier for you to apply online, and actually it's worth mentioning that some of the companies force you to apply online. I think there was some kind of a figure like more than 60% of the people who we surveyed have either looked or are in the process of looking for jobs online, and 22% were looking forward to do it or were thinking about doing it. So it is opening many doors for them, and it's making it easier and easier for people to apply. And it's also keeping them updated with the workforce and the market. So I think it's extremely valuable for the people who are graduating.
Let me just add into this. You know, I know we are talking to students here from Carnegie Mellon, very smart guys. I've met most of them in my company and in other organizations and companies. And just let me make it very clear here. If you are looking for a job, please be very precise in selection. You have to understand, not only looking at the short term, look at the long term. And for my advice to you, if I have an advice to give you, is to look at the companies where they will invest in you, in your future, in your career, and a career path that will lead you to be a figure in your country.
Thank you very much. Finally, I must ask this question. Here at Carnegie Mellon University, actually we have a majority of female students. In fact, 56% of our students are females. So in terms of access or technology users, have you noticed through the research that was conducted a gender imbalance in this regard?
Thank you. Our research shows that the percentage of women accessing the internet is less than men. However, the research also forecasts that more women will be engaged with ICT in the future since it can provide them with more opportunities. Also, it is worth mentioning that it's also worth mentioning that the half of our female respondents online throughout the region are on the age of launching into the computing cloud and computing cloud for businesses. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I hand it back to you.
Thank you. Before opening up to questions from the audience, I want to ask a question personally. As late as 30 years ago, and 30 kilograms ago, I used to play football or soccer, American guys. Now I know there's some soccer fans over there, football fans. So every time Sheikh Abdullah, I fly Turkish Airlines, I see commercials of the man with the lightning feet, Messi. Messi has been doing commercials for Turkish Airlines. I now hear about Ooredoo and Messi. What's the story?
There's no story behind it. Anyway, I am a fan.
Is that association?
I am a fan of Galatasaray, anyway.
Galatasaray is a Turkish.
Anyone here a fan of Barca? Well, I am not. Well, let me say that, with Messi, we have. Let me explain it differently. The Messi Foundation, we found that this guy went through rough days in his early days, and he wanted to show some gratitude to the young people around the world. So his foundation is really based into doing good to the young and raise them into a better life. That really came into the same wavelength or sheet of music as we have in our strategy in that area and touching into the young and the youth. So we approached Messi, and I must say, even if I am not a Barca fan, but he is a very nice guy. He is down to earth, he is talented, and he straight away said, I am willing, I am in, and he is our ambassador, as Nasser Al-Atiyah, the Qatari ambassador, at the same time. They are our ambassadors in any country we go and we brand and we come with new products. So I am proud of having a relation with his foundation. And by the way, I have a shirt signed by Messi and a football signed by him. I will give it as a gift to the college.
Thank you.